Hello students. Today we are going to discuss the last chapter in the subject Professional Ethics and Indian Constitution. And the name of the chapter is Indian Constitution. The Indian Constitution Part 1 already I have discussed, and I have made a video and I have uploaded on the YouTube. And this is the second part in the chapter Indian Constitution. This is the very interesting and the easiest chapter in the subject, which carries 40 marks here. So let us start with the concept here. So first we are going to discuss federalism in the Indian Constitution. So basically the Indian Constitution defines the power distribution between the federal government, that is the center or the union, and the states of India. So the power is divided between the legislative, administrative and executive powers. So the legislative section is divided into three lists. So that is union list, state list and concurrent list here. The states of Jammu and Kashmir was accorded with the higher degree of federalism. The states of Puducherry and Delhi have accorded lesser degree of federalism here, and the union territories are directly governed by the union government here. So next we are going to discuss the division of powers. So basically the division of powers is divided into the union list, state list and the concurrent list here. So according to the Indian Constitution, the division of powers are classified in the following ways. So that is union list, state list and concurrent list. So first we are going to discuss what do we mean by union list and what are the things that are covered in the union list here. The union list consists of 100 items on which the parliament has executive power to legislate here. So the different examples under union list are defense, armed forces, atomic energy, foreign affairs, railways, shipping and navigation, airways, post and telegraphs, wireless and broadcasting, currency, banking, insurance, mineral and oil resources, electronic, income tax, organization of Supreme Court and High Court, duties of UPSC, etc. So all these things will come under union list here. So under state list, the state list consists of 61 items on which the state has exclusive power to legislate here. So the different examples of state list are maintaining law and order or police forces, healthcare, transport, land policies, electricity in the state, village administrations, etc. The state has executive power to make laws on this subject. And the third list under the division of powers is concurrent list here. So in this case, both the parliament and the state will going to have the powers as per the directions from the Constitution of India. So the various examples of concurrent list here are, so the Marriage and Divorce Act, the transfer of property other than agricultural land, education, contracts, adulteration of foodstuffs, drugs and poisons, economic and social planning, electricity, newspaper, books and printing, etc. So all these will come under the concurrent list here. So next we are going to discuss the structure of state legislation or the structure of state government. Just like in the center, so there is a structure, political structure within the state. So we have the governor as the head of the state, and there will be a chief minister and council of ministers. A person among the council of ministers will be selected as the chief minister, and the maximum power is given to the chief minister. And we have a legislative assembly, so that is what Vidhan Sabha, we call it as a Vidhan Sabha. So and there are two houses, that is legislative council, it is also called Vidhan Parishad, and legislative assembly, so it is also called Vidhan. So next we are going to discuss what are the functions of state legislature. So the first function of state legislature is it can make the laws on all matters of the state. So right, whatever the law, if they want to make, they can make a law. So second, it controls the financial matters, that is all the revenues and expenditures. It passes money bills, etc. And the third function is it controls work of all the ministry of the state. Fourth, it can remove the council of ministers by passing no confidence motion. Next, it can elect the speaker and the deputy speaker. And last one is it can take part in the president's election here. So these are what some of the functions of state legislation here. So next we are going to discuss what are the structure of state executive. So under the state executive, I told the governor will be there, and there will be a chief minister and the council of ministers here. The function of the state executive is to implement the laws passed by the state legislature here. So first we are going to discuss one by one, who is the governor, what is the position of the governor, and what are the functions performed by the governor. So we'll discuss one by one. The first we are going to take is governor here. So the executive power of the state is given to the governor, and all the action of the state has to be taken in the name of the governor itself. So it is one of the highest and honorous degree, dignity and position in each state. The governor of the state has been appointed by the president of India. So the president has the power to appoint the governor for the different state here. In order to become the governor, there are certain requirements here. So first condition is what? He must be a citizen of India. So second, he or she must completed the age of at least 35 years. And third one, he or should not hold any office of profit. And last one, he should not be a member of parliament or a state legislature here. And one more thing is, he can removed by the president at any time here. So the president has the power to appoint or to remove the governor at any time. So the governor may be transferred from one state to the another state. Again, that is done by the president itself. So he will be appointed for a period of 5 years here. And as we all know, the governor has he is the what head of the state here, and there are very important the powers and the functions performed by the governor here. So we are going to discuss one by one. So first function of the governor is he appoints the chief minister, and on his advice he appoints even the other ministers here. Second, he addresses the joint sessions of Vidhan Sabha and Vidhan Parishad. And next, he appoints State Advocate General, Chairman and members of KPSC, the Vice Chancellors of universities. And next, he gives assent or dissent over the bills passed by the legislature. And next function is in charge of the state administration during the president rule. So specifically when the government, the central government, when it imposes the president rule in the state, so the governor will be in charge of that particular state. And next, he sends a report to the political situation, stability, law and order of the state from time to time to the President of India, especially during President rule. And the next function is he gives the oath of office to the Chief Minister and to all other ministers. And next function is he determines the questions of appointments, postings, promotion, etc. of subordinate courts. And last function is he dismisses the ministry when they refuse to quit even after losing their majority. So these are what some of the important functions performed by the governor here. So next we are going to discuss the chief minister, what is his position and what are the powers and functions of chief minister. So the chief minister is the head of the state government. So he is the head of the council of ministers and legislative assembly. The chief minister of the state are elected by the members of the legislature. The governor of the state appoints the leader of the party, the majority party, as the chief minister here. Then the term of office of the chief minister is 5 years. If the chief minister has to resign, if he or she, the chief minister has to resign if he or his or her party loses the majority in the legislative assembly. The person to be a chief minister must be a citizen of India, and he or she should be a member of the state legislature, and they must have completed the age of at least minimum 25 years here. And the functions and powers of chief ministers: he appoints the ministers of the state. And second one is he allows the portfolio to all the ministers, and he can appoint them at cabinet ministers or deputy chief ministers among them. Third one, he can recommend the removal of ministers. Next, he is the communicator between the council of ministers and the governor. And next, he approves all the major financial bills, resolutions, etc. And next, he maintains the order and discipline in the legislative assembly. Next, he can approve the major appointments in the state. Next, he can also prepare state budget and present it in assembly for approval. And next one is he will play a key role in appointing top brass officials of the state government. So that is the Director General of Police, that is DGP, Principal Secretary and Directors of various departments. And next we are going to discuss the Council of Ministers. The process of formation of Council of Ministers begins with the appointment of Chief Ministers. So, right, as they appoint the head of that particular party, so the Council of Minister, the process will start here. The Council of Ministers are appointed by the Governor of the state on the advice of the Chief Minister itself. The Council of Ministers are directly responsible to the state legislature and are in charge of respective departments, like they have different departments like higher education, PWD, tourism minister, health minister, forest, etc. Some of them may work as district in charge ministers here. The Council of Ministers are classified into three kinds of ministers, that is cabinet minister, deputy minister and minister of the state. So next we are going to discuss the powers and functions of Council of Ministers. They perform the individual work which has assigned by the CM, that is Chief Minister. The cabinet ministers can take major decisions on the behalf of the Council of Ministers to assist the Chief Minister in the governance of the state administration. So next, to exercise control over the respective department and administration. And next function is to prepare the state budget and the various bills and present them in the assembly for discussions and approval. Last function is to travel across the state to understand and take survey of the various problems of the people of the respective constituencies here. So these are what some of the powers and functions of the Council of Ministers. So next we are going to discuss the local self-government. So basically the meaning of local self-government is the management of the local affairs by the representatives of the locality itself. It deals mainly with the problems concerned with the local areas like water problem or sanitation problem or education related problems, road development, health, agricultural works, etc. So the Constitution of India provided the provisions for the local self-government to have an effective development in the country from the grassroots level. So right, in order to develop a country, first we need to develop from the root level, so that is from the village level itself. And in order to develop the villages or in order to develop the grams, so they have developed certain local self-government here, and we are going to discuss one by one. And next we are going to discuss three-tier panchayat system. So basically in our country a three-tier panchayat system is practiced for the rural self-governing institutions. They are what the tier 1, tier 2, tier 3. Basically in tier 1 there will be a gram panchayat or village panchayat. So the gram panchayat or village panchayat will be situated for villages or a group of villages. If the villages are small, together 3 to 4 villages we have a single gram panchayat, or for a separate village we have a village panchayat. So that will be a tier 1. And for tier 2 that is what the taluka panchayat, it is there for the taluka level. And tier 3 is jilla panchayat, and it is there for a district level here. So first we are going to discuss what do you mean by gram or village panchayat here. So as per the Panchayat Raj Act, a village or a group of villages in Karnataka, population of around 5,000 to 7,000 villagers can form their village panchayat, called their local rural self-governing bodies here. The members of the village panchayats are elected by the people of age 18 and above, and they belong to that local panchayat area itself. Okay, so there will be a governing body in case of a gram panchayat. There will be a chairman, there will be a vice chairman. So there will be a members in the panchayat. So and all these are appointed through the elections here, and they belong to that particular area itself here. Okay, so next the term of village panchayat is 5 years. So village panchayat is headed by the chairman. That is what he is the elected among the members of the village panchayat, and vice chairman to assist the chairman here. The term of office of chairman and vice chairman of village panchayat 30 months. So the executive power and functions of village panchayat are handled by the secretary who is appointed by the government. So there will be a Gram Panchayat secretary. He is basically appointed by the government itself, and he has given the executive the power. Also, there will be a Panchayat Development Officer in the Karnataka that has been appointed recently. That has been appointed by the government. So he was selected through the State Public Service Commission. So next, the functions, the various functions performed by the Gram Panchayats are, so that is, first one is the agricultural development, second, watershed development and irrigation development, so third one, minor forest development, fourth, to support khadi and cottage industries, fifth one, to provide pure drinking water and prevent water pollution, sixth one, to promote sanitation and sewage waste management by providing underground drainage system, 7. To encourage animal husbandry, poultry and fisheries work. 8. One, to provide for ration distribution system. Next, libraries, cultural activities, family welfare and health development. 10th one, to encourage adult education, primary and higher education. So basically, the problems which arises in the villages, the people, the kind of problems which will be there in the villages or grams, those problems they are solved through the gram panchayat itself here. So that is very important. Second, the taluka panchayat. So again, as per the Panchayat Raj Act, the taluka panchayat have been established at taluka level. For every taluka, we have a taluka panchayat here. So it is formed with taluka panchayat. The members the members for every 10,000 population. So one member will be elected. So the members of taluka panchayat are elected directly through the elections here. The elected members of Taluka Panchayat elect among themselves the president and the vice president of Taluka Panchayat. The members of Taluka Panchayat are elected for a period of 5 years, whereas the term of office of the president and vice president is 20 months here. So Taluka Panchayat meetings are held at least once in 2 months. The local MLAs, MLCs and MPs of that particular taluka will attend the meeting, and they give suggestions regarding the problems within the taluka places here. So assistant commissioner of the state services are appointed as the executive officer by the state government. So there will be an executive officer at the taluka panchayat. So he appointed by the state government, and he has given what the maximum powers here. So the some of the functions performed by the taluka panchayats are, so rural housing and electrification, land management, conservation of soil, forest, implementing public health care, family welfare, etc. So construction of roads, water tanks, buildings. Next, implement irrigation projects, drinking water schemes, etc. So sixth one is implement support programs for SC, STs and other backward classes. Then implement ration or public distribution system. Then extend support to primary and higher education. So next, encourage rural cottage industries, khadi gramodyog schemes, etc. So the kind of functions performed by the gram panchayat, even they will be same even at the taluka level, but up to what they get what the maximum fund from the government, and they utilize it for the welfare of the people here. And next we have a Jilla Panchayat. So again, as per the Panchayat Raj Act, the Jilla Panchayat has been established at the district level, and just like the Taluk Panchayat, there will be a president and there will be a vice president and there will be members of the Jilla Panchayat, and they are again elected through the elections here. And some of the functions performed by the Jilla Panchayat, they are what again I told they are almost same. So that is land development and irrigation works. So that is building and road constructions. So encourage cooperative society activities, supervise and coordinate all development works at district level, drinking water schemes, dairy and poultry development. So establish and monitor primary and high schools, implement primary health care and family welfare programs, and support small scale industries, horticulture and agricultural industries here. So next we are going to discuss urban local bodies. Under urban local bodies, there will be municipalities and city corporations and Brahat Mahanagara Palike. So for the local governance of the urban areas like towns and cities, and to solve the problems of residents of urban areas, so urban local bodies have been formed. So the urban local bodies can be classified into some municipalities for towns and cities and city corporations here. And nowadays the city corporations at larger state scale and capacities for upcoming metro cities, state capitals have also been constituted. They are called as Brahat Mahanagara Palike. So for example, in Bangalore there is a BBMP. It is what? Brahat Bangalore Mahanagar Palike. And in Mumbai we have MMP, so that is Mumbai Mahanagara Palike. So the various functions performed by the urban local bodies are, so management of overall administration, then provisions for provision of facilities of drinking water, health, sanitation, roads, electricity, education, then markets, etc. The preparation of good master plan for the development and growth of urban areas. Next, construction and maintenance of bus stations, swimming pools, museums, stadiums, reading rooms, public libraries, retail markets, all these things. Then arrangement for the urban waste disposal methods and keeping cleanliness in the state here. And next we are going to discuss the municipalities. Municipality or municipal corporation is classified as either town municipality or city municipality based on the population of that local area. So if the population is in between the 50,000 to 3 lakh, so then it is called a city municipality. If the population is in between 20,000 to 50,000, so it is called a town municipality. So the municipalities have elected representative of that local area called the corporators. So the number of elected corporators vary from, so one municipality to other municipality depending on the population of that particular place. So some of the functions performed by the town and city municipality. So providing and arranging public amenities such as street lights, parking areas, bus stands, public toilets, parks, playgrounds, etc. And distribution of pure drinking water for domestic use, commercial use, and for industrial purposes. Then providing for sanitation, public health care, and pollution control. Then building and repairing roads, bridges. Then approving building plans, site development plans, etc. Then naming and numbering of roads, colony or extension areas. Then registration and maintenance of records of births and deaths. Then collecting taxes, land revenues, property taxes, etc. Then protection and maintenance of public property, monuments and historical temples, etc. Then construction and maintenance of graveyards. Then planting and conservation of trees along the roads. Then safeguard interest of SC, ST and other backward classes and minority classes, and extending welfare schemes, employment and training, skill and development programs for them. Then conducting raids in the events of unauthorized deposit and delivery of kerosene, domestic use, etc. here. And next we are going to discuss the city corporations. So the city corporations are formed in the larger cities with a population more than 3 lakh people here. So the city corporations are also called the municipal corporation. For example, the Hubli Dharwad. In Hubli Dharwad we have a Hubli Dharwad municipal corporation here, because the population will cross more than 3 lakh. The member of city corporations are elected by the people of that area and represent various wards of that city limit. The elected members of city corporations, they are called corporators. The total number of elected corporators, again it varies from corporation to corporation depending on the population of that area. Then elected members of corporations elect among corporators. So one person as mayor and another as deputy mayor here. The chief executive officer of the city corporation is called the commissioner, and he belongs to IS and appointed by the state government. The term of office of the corporators is 5 years here. And next we are going to discuss the functions of city or municipal corporations here. So the first function is providing electricity to and maintenance of public streets, public markets, public roads in the city. Then sanitation, sewage, waste and garbage removal, pollution control. Next, providing pure drinking water and management of water supply. Next, registration of birth and death records. Then town planning and giving permissions to house construction. Next, construction and maintenance of public gardens, parks and playgrounds. Next, construction and maintenance of roads in the city, then naming and numbering of roads or streets, then regulation of land use and control over sites, then approval and building construction, then collection of taxes, fees, penalties on the land use and property taxes, then prevent diseases and contamination of water sources at ponds, lakes, etc. Then provide for effective public health management, then establish and maintenance of primary schools, high schools, community hospitals for women and child care, then construction of cultural halls, art gallery and museums and their maintenance here. So this is what about the city corporations. And next we are going to discuss Brahat Mahanagar Palike. So the Mahanagar Palike, they are found in metropolitan cities like Mumbai or Bangalore, and where the population if exceeds more than 10 lakh or 50 lakh. So we have a Mahanagar Palike here. So for example, I told in Bangalore we have a BBMP, so that is Brahat Bengaluru Mahanagar Palike, and in Mumbai we have Mumbai Mahanagara Palike. The functions of the Mahanagara Palike, Mahanagara Palike, it is what? The same as the city or municipal corporations here. Okay, so next we are going to discuss the Election Commission of India. So Election Commission of India is a single permanent constitutional body for conducting free, fair and regular elections to set a democratic government in the center in the different states of the country, and elections to the president and vice president of India. So it is an independent body which performs its work without the influence and interference of political parties and executives. So basically it is an autonomous or independent bodies, means they have their own rules and regulations here, and no one will interfere with the Election Commission of India. They have their own body, they have a chairman, they have a vice chairman, they have the members, and no any political party will not going to involve in the Election Commission of India. So basically the purpose of Election Commission of India is to conduct the fair elections in the country. So right, either in the state or in the country here. The Chief Election Commissioner shall be the chairman of Election Commission along with the other three members here. The Election Commissioner holds the office for 6 years, but they have to retire if they attain the age of 65 years. So we are going to discuss some of the functions performed by the Election Commission of India. So that is first one is the preparation of the electoral rolls. Second, determination of boundaries of each constituencies for parliament and state elections. Third one, allotment of seats. And fourth one, conduct of elections, that is fixing the dates for different activities for completing the elections. Then granting or recognition to political parties for election process. Next, allotment of symbols to the political parties and independent candidates for elections. Next, ensuring free and fair election through code of conduct. So next, it sends central observers to the constituencies for supervision. Next, it can cancel or postpone the polling under the sensitive conditions. Next, it can advise the president or governor of the concerned state regarding electoral matters. And next we are going to discuss UPSC. So that is Union Public Service Commission. So it is a constitutional independent body in the Republic of India. It is authorized to conduct examinations for the appointment to the various civil services of India here. It will perform its work without the influence and interference of political parties and executives. The chairman and other members of the UPSC are appointed by the President of India. So every member holds the office for a term of 6 years or until he or she attains the age of 65 years, whichever is earlier. So just like Election Commission of India, we have one more independent body. So that is what Union Public Service Commission. So this was implemented in order to conduct the examination for the appointments of various civil services like ISC, or it may be IFS or IPS here. Okay. So next we are going to see the functions performed by the UPSC here. So that is, first function is to conduct the examinations for appointment to the services to the union and to the state. Second, they make recommendations to the union government by the UPSC and to the state by the SPSC for appointment of persons to its service. Next, they advise union by UPSC and state by SPSC on all matters relating to the methods and principle to be followed during appointment, promotions and transfer from one service to another. Next, the Public Service Commission has to perform any function which the Parliament or states assembly may by law assign to it. Then last one is to send report annually to the President of India about the work carried out by the UPSC or the governor by the state Public Service Commission. So just like UPSC, we have KPSC, that is Karnataka Public Service Commission. The Indian Constitution has provided KPSC, which conducts examination for recruitment of candidates to various services within the state here. The selection of a candidate to the various categories of post in the state civil services is made on the following basis here. So maybe by the interview or only by the competitive examination, or they can take both competitive examination or the personality test here. So the KPSC consists of a chairman and 9 members, and secretary basically is an IAS officer and controller of examination. The functions performed by KPSC are: it recruits the candidate to the various civil services across the state. Next, it conducts the selection procedure. Next, it conducts the personality test and written competitive examination. Next, it conducts the interview for the candidate for final selection. Next, it circulates the notification for recruitment of candidate for various civil services across the state. So next, to get the recruitment of human resources from different departments here. So this is all about the Indian Constitution. Thank you.